My name is Veronica Lasaria, and I am presenting Interpersonal Orientations. Karen Horney presented 3 interpersonal orientations to deal with basic anxiety and basic hostility. The 3 basic interpersonal orientations were 1. Moving towards the parents, 2. Moving against the parents, and 3. Moving away from the parents. Moving towards the parents. 1. It has the appeal of love. It is also known as the self-effacing solution. Many people in this orientation commonly use the phrase as, "If you love me, you will not hurt me." They're constantly in the need for affection and attention, and they can be very dependent on others. They tend to repress anger, and also as a child, they tend to stay near their mother for comfort. Moving against the parents. They have the appeal of mastery. It is also known as the expansive solution. They tend to use the phrase, "If I have the power, I will not be hurt." Many of them like to be in control of all the situations, and they like to have power. They need to have success and praise from others in order to feel their self-worth. Many of them have aggressive attitude types, and when they were infants, they usually show anger towards strangers. Moving away from the parents. They have the appeal for freedom. It is also known as the solution of resignation. They tend to use the phrase, if I withdraw, nothing can hurt me." They also have a mentality of, "I don't care about anything." Many of these people are very independent and self-sufficient, and they're also very sensitive to concern or advice. They tend to think that you're criticizing them or ridiculing them. They seclude themselves and they lead very private lives due to the fact that they don't want anyone's opinions based on what they are doing. My 3 examples for my interpersonal orientations are 1. My ex-boyfriend Ivan, 2. My father Alex, and 3. My cousin Brandon, and of course myself for the final interpersonal orientation. The first one I used was Ivan. I used him as moving away from people, or his parents. Ivan is a type of person that came from a very troubled past. Whenever he was in a situation that involved confrontation, he always avoided it. He always went and basically removed himself from the situation and automatically shut down. He believed that nothing would affect him, and the reason why nothing would affect him was because he never got emotionally tied to it. He felt that he never needed to be protected. And when I entered the relationship with him, I wanted to be that person that he can go to and confide in, and he would be able to tell his troubles to. Well, it never ended up being that way because people from this orientation are very private and they don't like discussing their emotions, and in fact, they move away from any situation that involves that. And that's exactly what he would do when he would tell me certain things and I would try to give him advice and I would care about it. He would automatically think that I would be criticizing him, and he would start shutting down, and he would think that I was turning on him as well. He was a very private person, especially with his emotions. For my cousin Brandon, I chose him as moving towards people. Brandon is an adolescent that enjoys a lot of affection and a lot of attention. When he was a young child, his mother would give him a lot of attention and would care for him and baby him a lot. When she would baby him, it got to the point that we started saying that she had to kind of stop because he was going to start getting used to it. Well, he did, and as he started getting older, he continued to seek attention not only from his mother, but from others around him. He constantly needed somebody by his side, whether it was a friend or his parent or a significant other, and he can be very clingy at times. The clinginess starts when he starts feeling that the attention is decreasing from the other person. That's when he feels that he might lose them, and he starts almost panicking to try to get him back. He's a very easygoing person and not one to start a fight because he does not like to see the other person upset. So therefore, as long as he can be with that person, he is willing to do whatever the other person would like to do. And that's why I would put him towards moving towards people. My father, Alex, I put him as moving against people. This is because he's a very strong-willed man, and he likes to be in control of the situations that he puts himself in. He can almost sometimes come off as controlling and dominant. He does not like to get his feelings hurt, and he feels that the best way of doing that is to be in control of the situations that he puts himself with, and that would prevent that from happening. He is very much driven by success. He measures himself by how successful he is. He would always tell us he's only worth as much as his success. As he is only worth as much as his success. And when it comes to being in any sort of relationship with him, regardless of love or friend or even daughter to father, it can get difficult. This is because he's the one that always likes calling the shots. So if he has somebody that pushes him or goes against him, an automatic argument begins, and it continues until you decide to either give in or just ignore it and walk away from the situation, because he is very strong-willed, and he fights for what he wants, and he likes things to be done his way. And of course, my personal interpersonal orientation, I don't actually believe that I qualify into a certain interpersonal orientation. I think that I would fall in between moving towards people and also moving against people. However, if I had to pick one, I would probably pick more towards, I would probably lean more towards moving towards people. And that would be because I'm a very easygoing person. I generally do not like protesting and deciding what we're going to do. I go ahead and I go with the flow. And this is because I know that if an argument is going to arise, it's not big enough to start that I just go with the flow. I'm a very compassionate and affectionate person as well, and I like to be surrounded by my friends and loved ones, and I do like that attention from my family. It's not a constant attention, but I do like being in a familiar environment where I do get attention and I'm not alone. And I'm also very much into being in a relationship. I do not like really being single. Not that I can't be, I have been, but I do like more having someone, either a friend or a significant other, spending times and sharing your times and memories with. So that's something why I would classify myself as an interpersonal orientation, as moving towards people. These are my references to my presentation. I used the book, and I also used one outside source. Okay, and that is my presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have a great day.